Now this figure 18-43 shows the rules pertaining to the disconnecting means for a motor rated 2 horsepower or less at 30 volts or less. Now, the motor that we see in the illustration is a 2 horsepower type motor. It's 120 volts, say, because we have a 120 volt circuit supplying this 115 volt motor. And we're going to call it 115 volt. Now, 430.6A1 refers the designer to table 430.248 to select the full load current of this motor. At 115 volt, it's 24 amp. So a general use switch, whatever type you use, would be twice 24 amps. So that'd be a 48 amp rated general use switch that would need to be used to disconnect this motor, like a DC, AC, DC general use switch, for example. Or you might have a toggle switch as shown here that's an AC general use snap switch. Now notice it would be 80%. So you would say if you had a 20 amp switch, 80% of 20 would be 16 amps. It wouldn't disconnect 24 amps. You'd have to use maybe a 30 special type toggle switch, and then 80% of 30 would disconnect it, see? And then, of course, if this general use disconnect switch that you see here is not a regular disconnect as you see, and it was a DC AC, then naturally it would be twice, and that's where we'd get the 48 amp rating. So this illustration, 18-43, is illustrating stationary motors of 2 horsepower or less at 300 volts or less, and you size such switches in accordance with 430.109C. 430.109C.